For our conversation with the folks from ICTC, brought to you this morning by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And on the line with me this morning is Kelly Fox, Keith McCracken joining us this morning. They are both advisors to the ICTC National Technical Honor Society, and that's going to be our topic of conversation. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Dan. It's good to have you with us here today as we focus on National Technical Honor Society. Keith, what is that?
Well, the National Technical Honor Society is an organization that recognizes students who've chosen CTE. And often by doing so, they've given up the ability to be part of things that they're sending school. In some cases, the General Honor Society at their sending school, because of the way they're structured for grade point averages in certain classes, things like that. So what NTHS does is looks at the CTE, meaning Career and Technical Education student, and we look at if they have a cumulative 93.5 grade average at their sending school and at ICTC, then we invite them to join the National Technical Honor Society here at ICTC.
Wow, Kelly, that's quite a standard, isn't it?
It is, and the reason that we're focusing on NTHS this month with you, Todd, is because we're really proud that the number of students eligible to be in NTHS this year has more than doubled. And so it has been somewhat of a small elite group in the past, and I don't know if it's just because our numbers overall are growing and more people are becoming interested in career and technical education, but it is a reflection coming through our NTHS that we definitely have the right students coming to the ICTC because many of them qualify for participation in NTHS.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the quality of the student as well. First, they're getting the foundations they need at their sending schools as they approach the age at which they can come to ICTC. And Keith, you know this because you were an instructor in the machinist department for quite some time. It does take quite the adept mind in order to do some of the requirements of some of these programs.
Yes, and what's happening now is that we're seeing, and I don't know which way it goes. In other words, I don't know if they're just generally taking more pride in what they do and working harder, or if they picked up an ethic somewhere along the line that they want to get both sides of this. They want to be able to really represent what they're doing and perform what they're doing. They want to be able to get the academic side. Years ago, we struggled, and the perception was always that the CTEs were for people who might struggle academically. And what we love about NTHS is that it's really showing us that there's been a shift, and these students are just as concerned with their academic endeavors back at the sending school as they are at succeeding here at ICTC.
Kelly, could it also be the fact that it's become a much more recognizable, lucrative field in which to enter, and also becomes therefore more competitive, and so students recognize that here's an opportunity to maybe get a step ahead of everybody else?
Yeah, I think it's a combined effort with a lot of initiatives that we're doing at the ICTC. We try to recognize all kinds of accomplishments for our students. We have students of the quarter, we have students of the 9 weeks, we have Kiwanis students of the month, and of course we have our NTHS group, we have our Skills USA group, and so in some ways, Todd, to be an ICTC student means that your performance is being looked at all the time. And when it's good, it's being recognized as well. So we have those types of recognitions throughout our school year, and we display them on different bulletin boards in the hallways so that all students can see. And when there's special recognitions, of course, we're using the lobby TV so that all the students coming into the school can see the news that's happening.
Absolutely. And when you see the way that the various technical fields are opening up and the employment opportunities that are there, it's just a great option for so many students. Keith, you mentioned that when a student is involved in a program such as this, oftentimes the work that they must do can have an impact on some of the extracurriculars or other activities that they might do from their schools, their sending schools. So it really does take a commitment, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, and we want to honor that. And NTHS has been on. Bob Piccarello, I believe, might have brought this in when he was still here, and we carried it through. We being Kelly and I had it for a while by myself, and then I said, hey, I need help because it was growing, and Kelly has some real strengths in certain areas that I needed help in. I'm a numbers guy. She is a public person. And so we kind of got together and made both of them work really well. So, and I just really believe that is serving the students. We try to do some things. This year's a little different, so we aren't going to be able to do as many fundraisers and things as we did last year. And the other thing that I think with the numbers going up, and by the way, Todd, we went from 24 in 1920, 24 kids in the 2020 graduating class to now 37
wow.
in 2021 graduating class and met that criteria. So as students saw what we were doing and really kind of, wanted to be a part, it motivates them. And you get a lot more questions this year about, hey, how come I didn't get NTHS, or what's it going to take for me to get in next year? So it's nice to see that rolling.
Yeah, and the fact that it's measurable is something that I'm sure is very helpful from an instructional standpoint for ICTC. You can learn off of this as well, can't you?
I can
we're
learn.
always learning.
We're
learning a lot.
Every day's a learning adventure for us. But what we're learning, Todd, and when you say learn from this, in our position, what we're learning is that kids really do thrive on recognition around here for what they've done, not just for being them, but they really want to be recognized for their accomplishments. And that doesn't have to be a lot of fanfare. It just has to be, hey, we recognize what you're doing, and you're keeping things, really well at your sending school too. We appreciate that. That makes you look really good. So here's a way of honoring you in that.
Yeah. Kelly, is there coordination between students who are going to end up at ICTC and that sending school, between your school and wherever the student is coming from? Is there particular coordination, or does it just turn out that they're turning out well-rounded students and sending them to ICTC pretty well prepared?
Yeah, we go through a full enrollment process with each of our sending schools, and so as we sit down and have those discussions in the end part of that enrollment part, that's where the decisions are made. And I do think that those discussions are more easily had across the table as the years have gone on. The 339 process has been a gift to the CTC because it has allowed all of our schools to be accountable for the career education, let's say, that they provide to their students. And when they really put careers out there to their students, it makes ICTC look more favorable.
I'm sure.
Because we definitely offer 13 great technical areas that can provide them education to prepare for a particular career field.
I'm sure that within those 13 fields that you mentioned, the technical fields, that there are some that particularly stand out for their students doing that kind of hard work. What are some of those standout programs?
Well, right now on the most popular list, of course, would be our Health Occupations program and our Welding Technology program. But this was one of the first years, Todd, that when we did our enrollment across the board, very few programs had remaining seats in them. So we were popular AM and PM across the board in most areas. There's just a couple, and usually I could say that there's a handful. Mm-hmm. But when it came down to the end this year, there was just a couple that had more seats than the others. And that was really something. Because of the type of year we had last year, and then to still end up with a lot of students interested in coming to the ICTC, it was really amazing. Thankfully, we were able to get through the student orientation part of that enrollment before COVID hit. So the freshman class from last year did have a full orientation to the ICTC, and then we just accomplished those enrollment meetings virtually thereafter if we needed to.
You know, that raises an interesting question to me, and that is there a point at which in the near future or the maybe a little bit more distant future where ICTC says, you know what, we have so many students interested in coming here and we're about at capacity, we're going to have to do an expansion of some sort?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, it would be.
We would welcome that discussion.
Yes. I think that's a whole nother interview, Todd.
We might have to bring in some more high-powered folks to talk about it, too, huh?
I'm thinking that the guest around the microphone might be different than what you have today, yes.
Well, the bottom line is that it shows that ICTC has a very high-quality student and a very high-quality product to get those students educated and through the system and out into the field, whether it's into post-secondary education or into the job market or some combination of the two.
Absolutely. It's a great time to be in career and technical education. I'm going to continue to say that because I really believe that people know it and they're living it and they're making decisions for it. And we're just glad to be in education, able to work with them to give them the skills that they need for their future careers. I also want to give a little plug to our NTHS students because normally we'd be decorating a float this week and getting ready for It's a Wonderful Life parade in downtown Indiana. Mm-hmm. But we did the virtual option this year, and so you'll see some of our NTHS students in a little video clip included in the virtual parade. So give a little shout out to our NTHS participants who put their Christmas shirts on, and you might even see Mr. McCracken in there thinking he's Santa Claus.
Really? Is that true, Mr. McCracken?
Yeah, but a very specific Santa Claus.
Yes. What?
So now you have to watch it.
Svelte or portly, or what direction you going with that?
Oh no, you have to listen for the. I'm mimicking a very famous Santa Claus, one of these Christmas movies that comes out every year.
Oh yeah.
So we'll just have to see if you can pick up which Santa Claus I am attempting to mimic.
Okay.
And we know that there's only one Santa allowed in the parade, so he doesn't look like Santa. He just, of course.
What a teaser.
Yeah, he just sounds like Santa.
Gosh, our interest is piqued here. So we're gonna have to tune into that parade. I got to see that one. I know McCracken likes to hang around the culinary department and scarf up the cookies. So I thought he was just playing the role to the hilt.
That's true, and I have, as hard as I've tried, they have not left me milk and cookies in the restaurant up there yet. I can't get them to do that.
Well, you just need to hint.
You haven't left enough presents.
There you go. Just hint a little bit louder, Keith. Hey, this has been
hint louder, or stop taking them before they get to the restaurant.
This has been a really interesting conversation talking about the honors students there at the ICTC. It's a program that maybe we needed to shed some light on. I'm glad we're able to do it today.
Yeah, we're just glad that our numbers are going up in that area, and we're so glad to be working with all the students that qualify for National Technical Honor Society. It is something that I felt needed to be reported because our kids need recognized for their efforts. They're working hard, and they qualify for good things like NTHS.
There you go. Good plan. To both of you and to everybody at ICTC, happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you, Todd.
Happy Thanksgiving, Todd.
Have a great week.
You too.
You too.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And AM 1160. And AM